Alright, welcome back to Flight Sim 2024 and welcome to Wonderboom in South Africa. As you can see, we're starting inside the aircraft rather than outside for very good reason. It's absolutely bucketing down, and we're of course in the A2A PA-24 Comanche today, and the scenario is this. So we've bought the aircraft to kind of use for recreation. We're taking the family on a holiday. Family's in the back. They look a bit terrified. I don't know why there's no one here, but anyway. So this is my kind of personal Comanche. We're supposed to be going on holiday, but as you can see, the weather looks pretty terrible. However, we can fly IFR, we just don't have a GPS. So we're supposed to be going to Mala Private Game Reserve, which is up in the northeast as part of the greater Kruger area. And we're going to be able to fly IFR with no GPS. We're only using VORs and DMEs. However, Mala is not an instrument, or has no instrument approaches at the airport, so we need to be VFR by that point. So we kind of need to get through the weather and hope that it's clear on the other side. If we can't make it through, we are diverting to Kruger and Mpumalanga International Airport, which does have a VOR approach. I'm also going to be using Beyond ATC because we're flying IFR, and most of it's actually going to be vectored anyway, because there's no departure procedures or anything that we can use from Wonderboom. So we will kind of see what Beyond ATC gives us and how it deals with that as well. So that's the plan for today. We're looking at about a 1.5 hour flight, 1 hour 23 minutes it says. We've got just over 3 hours of fuel on board, if I remember correctly. So we're absolutely full up. We're taking all the family, we're taking as much stuff as we can. We've got about 3 hours worth of fuel, so we should hopefully be able to make it back on this fuel as well, which puts us 6 kgs under our maximum takeoff weight. It is raining, we have no GPS, so it's going to be a fun, challenging flight. If I go and look here, everything looks fine. My personal aircraft is used, so it is ignore this. We're Zulu Sierra Delta Romeo Bravo. I can't get Flight Sim 24 to actually keep the call sign, or not the call sign, the tail number that I put in. As soon as I load into the flight, it just generates a new one. So anyway, we've got just under 5,000 hours on the airframe and just under 2,500 on the engine. I've done the walk around and checked everything. The only thing I haven't done is get rid of the control lock, but we are going to be heading out. So all of this is done. We're kind of at this point now. So what I'm going to do first is actually call up Wonderboom and get our clearance to Mala. Let's see if they're even going to know it exists. They should, because it exists in the Flight Sim database. So my understanding is, as long as Flight Sim has an airport, Beyond ATC is using that information, so it should be just fine. So ground frequency here at Wonderboom is 120.6. So we are Zulu Sierra Delta Romeo Bravo, Wonderboom to Mala, which is Foxtrot Alpha Mike Delta, 120.6, and we are just expecting vectors to, what is that VOR called? It's Zonnewater, I think. Yes, Zonnewater, which is CZV. So I'm actually going to make a note of, there's 3 VORs on our route. So CZV is the first one, Zonnewater, which is 114.3. Okay, then we go to Witbank, which is 113.3, and then we're actually flying over Kruger and Mpumalanga, which is our alternate, which will give us a good idea of the weather there as we go over that. That is 112.5. Okay, so we need to dial in 120.6. Right, what I am going to assume is that I've trained whoever's sitting in the other seat to do the radios. So I'll have Beyond ATC switch radio frequencies on its own. Right, so let's go ahead and power up. Now, I believe that this would be a bit different from, you know, flying an airliner. I think we would just start up and then call for our clearance, because I can't sit here forever on the battery. So I think that's what I'm going to do, actually. We'll see what Beyond ATC actually says. So fuel selectors, we need to... I like to just cheat and have them both on, so they drain equally and I don't have to worry about it. No, it's not the best way, but that's what I'm doing. Okay, mixture, prop full forward, carb heat is off, master switch is on, fuel pump on, check for fuel pressure. So we're looking for that to come up. Perfect, fuel pump off. Primer. Okay, next is mags to both. Like so, prop area is clear, no one should be wandering around. Oh, it's starting to kind of clear up. That plane is missing its texture, that's awkward. Okay, so prop area clear, starter engage. And we'll give a bit of throttle as well. Definitely thought the parking brake was on, that's bad. Okay, let's lean the mixture a bit. I need to check. So we put in 60 liters of fuel per side. What is this take here? I hope this is in liters. I don't actually know. So maybe what I should do for this time is just use this to update. It's not in liters, it's in gallons. Okay, that's good to know. So next time I need to convert and then fill that in. Cool. Oh yeah, you can see gallons per hour. Okay. That kind of makes sense because we're just over 15 either side. Right. Okay, this is actually all done except for radios. So let's get the radio stacks on. This we'll set to standby because we're going to get a squawk code now. And 120.6 we need to do. So let's dial that in. Wonderboom ground, good morning. Zulu Sierra Delta Romeo Bravo IFR to Mala Mala, ready to copy.
Zulu Sierra Delta Romeo Bravo, Wonderboom ground, expect runway 29er. Climb 7,000 feet on runway centerline, then expect radar vectors underwater VOR. Squawk 4534.
Okay, expect runway 29, climb 7,000 feet, and then vectors to Zonavata VOR, and squawk 4534, Delta Romeo Bravo. Okay, so that's pretty cool. We can put in 4534. 434.
Zulu
Perfect.
Sierra Delta Romeo Bravo. Read back correct. Call me back when ready for start or taxi.
That's interesting. So when you fly an airliner, they will say push or start, or start up or push back. But she said or taxi. Call you back, Delta Romeo Bravo. She said or taxi, so it seems like it knows somehow that we're not going to call for startup approval. We're just going to say I'm ready to taxi, which we'll do shortly. Okay, QNH for here is 1014, so we need to put that in, which is there. Okay, altimeter heading indicator, we definitely need to check that because this is going to be super important. So we're bang on 33. We're not bang on 33 here. Okay, that's better. Then heading, we're going to set this to about 29 because we're going to be doing vectors without numbers, so we're going to have to actually look at the thing. When I say without numbers, I mean without a little screen that tells you what you've dialed the heading to, which makes life way easier. Right, this also needs to be on. Cool. Right, the sun is coming out. We have a beautiful rainbow in front of us. The rain is kind of slowing down, but we're still going to be IFR. And we'll see if we're heading into better or worse conditions. Delta Romeo Bravo, ready for taxi.
Zulu Sierra Delta Romeo Bravo. Runway 29 a taxi via Charlie, Bravo. Hold short runway 24.
Runway 29, taxi via Charlie, Bravo. Hold short runway 24, Delta Romeo Bravo. Okay, so that is actually quite simple. So we're gonna taxi. I'm just looking at my tablet in front of me. It's literally just we go out here, and then that's Charlie. So that taxi where that goes out on Charlie, right on Bravo, hold short of 24, and then carry on Bravo to the hold short for 29. Right. So we are cleared to taxi. Let's just have a look around, touch the brakes, and let's go. So we must remember hold short at runway 24. Just ignore the pink plane. Okay, wow, the conditions here have improved a lot in the last kind of 50 minutes, but that wall of cloud that we get, often that kind of forms along the mountains, is quite a concern. Okay, so this is actually Delta taxiway here. So we'll take the second turn, which puts us directly onto Charlie. I feel like every single time I've flown out of Wonderboom, it's been runway 29. I don't actually remember using any of the other runways. So we go until the end here and then turn right. Okay, we'll do our run up. There's a place all the way at the end of 29. Can't wait for Beyond ATC to add their VFR capabilities. They have said it is coming in the future. It's probably going to be a while because I imagine that's a big job, But that's going to be very interesting. I think we're super heavy today, so maybe we should actually just do flaps 1. Normally I do no flap takeoffs in the Comanche, but I don't think I've ever departed pretty much on max takeoff weight, so we'll do flaps 1. We're looking for 85, rotate, and climbing out at 105. We'll probably bump that up to 110 for the climb. It looks still kind of nasty and rainy out that way. Okay, next stop is 24, so that's where we need to hold. Delta Romeo Bravo holding short runway 24.
Zulu Sierra Delta Romeo Bravo, cross runway 24 at Bravo. Continue taxi via Bravo.
Cross runway 24 at Bravo, continue taxi via Bravo, Delta Romeo Bravo. There are a lot of Bravos in that sentence. Okay, so just, you can see we're going up a little bit of a hill here, and just at the end, to the left, we have a little run-up area that we can use. Other thing I should have done is on nav 1, 114.3 for Zonobata. Can't really do the course yet because I don't know when they're gonna give us a direct, so it's not too much of a stress, but I can actually just do that.
Zulu Sierra Delta Romeo Bravo, contact Wonderboom Tower 118.35. Have a good day.
118.35. Good day, Delta Romeo Bravo. Okay, so someone's going to set the radio for us. Let's see, 118.35. Cool, they did it. I should actually, in the future, do it myself, because you can just queue it up and then flip-flop. And then, like, we could look up the approach. Oh, I don't know what approach it would be. It would be Waterkloof approach, probably. I don't know if we're actually inside their airspace. We could look that up and set it now during the run-up so that it's ready after departure. Okay, so brakes, fuel quantity, good. Fuel selectors both on. Mixture, let's go ahead and put that all the way up, and then throttle up to 2000. Cool, brakes are holding, so that's the first good sign. Check everything in the green. Cylinder air temperature, fuel pressure, oil temperature, nice. And then we're going to check the max drop of 125 and maximum difference of 50. Okay, let's just get to exactly 2000, make our life easier. Okay, that's within, and so is that. Right, so we're looking good. Back down to 1800. Okay, let everything stabilize there. Okay, let's check the carb heat next. We should see that drop, which we do, and the cylinder temperature does go up. Oh no, never mind, that's not to do with what I'm doing. We're just checking that we have the mag drop right. Okay, let's turn this on. Turn all of this on. Fuel pump comes on. And we'll call up tower. Wonderboom Tower, good morning. Zulu Sierra Delta Romeo Bravo, runway 29, ready for departure.
Zulu Sierra Delta Romeo Bravo, Wonderboom Tower. Wind 230 at 4, fly heading 290, runway 29, cleared for takeoff.
Fly heading 290 and runway 29, clear for takeoff. Delta Romeo Bravo. Okay, so they gave us exactly 290. And it looks like we're actually picking up the Zonavada VOR, so that's good. Okay, and looks like we're going into the rain. Right, here we go. Okay, airspeed's alive. Looking for that 85 rotate. She already wants to fly. Probably because we're so tail heavy. We're going to pitch for about 110. So let's get the flaps up. We'll get the gear up as well. I'm just going to get the autopilot on to help me for a bit.
Bravo. Contact Johannesburg Control West 118.5. Bye-bye.
118.5. Good day, Delta Romeo Bravo. Okay, fuel pump's coming off. We're looking for 7,000. I'm going to bring the RPM back to 24, roughly, and manifold pressure back to 24.
Flight level 283.
Okay, we're on the frequency with the airliners.
Johannesburg Control West. Good day. Identified. Continue climb to flight level 360. Continue climb to flight level 360. Safir 692.
Okay, passing 5,200. Johannesburg Control, Zulu Sierra Delta Romeo Bravo. Passing 5,200 feet, climbing 7,000.
Zulu Sierra Delta Romeo Bravo, Johannesburg Control West. Good day. Radar contact. Continue climb to 7,000 feet. QNH 1009.
009. Continue climb 7,000 feet, QNH 1009. Delta Romeo Bravo. This should give us a turn shortly.
Zulu Sierra Delta Romeo Bravo. Turn right. Heading 115.
Turn right. Turn right heading 115, Delta Romeo Bravo. Cylinder temperatures are a bit high, so I'm just going to put some mixture back in. Okay, we're coming up to... Is that 7,500? Have I already blown through the altitude? I have, haven't I? No, we're 6,500. Whoops. Okay, too many things to do at once. Okay, so we've got 500 feet to go. So I'm just using the trim here, actually. Okay, there's our heading. So next they will need to give us another vector. We're just on the edge of the rain now. Yeah, we're gonna start picking up speed quite rapidly. So let's just level off at 7,000. And then, well, while we're leveling off, I'm gonna bring the RPM back to 2,000. Okay, there's our 7,000. And we'll bring the manifold pressure back as well. We cruise along. We're about 125 knots now. So that beeping is the autopilot saying it needs help with some trim, and it'll keep doing that as we pick up speed. So you can see it's got nose up, nose down. So as we pick up speed, it's going to want more nose down trim. Okay, so we are now on our way. And there's Wonderboom that we're going back over now. Okay, so I'm just going to keep this, so if they give us a direct to, it's kind of easy to just set quickly. Out of the weather. I mean, at this point we're VFR, but look what we're going into. So I think IFR is the right choice.
Cleared direct underwater VOR. Resume own navigation.
Okay, direct is underwater VOR, Delta Romeo Bravo. Okay, we can turn off things like the landing lights, the fuel pump is off, strobes and beacon need to stay on. The rest is all good. Let's come down here and just have a look at what it feels like inside. Obviously, in reality, you can feel this, so it's actually kind of cold in here. These are all closed, so we actually want to get some heat. Okay, what do our cylinder head temperatures look like? Pretty good, so we can lean the mixture out some more as well, bring that fuel flow down. Have the headphones plugged in. There we go. Okay, I just want to aim for probably around 22, 23 degrees. Yeah, so that's too much leaning. There we go. So we can leave it about there. Temperatures are good. Keep our heating around there.
Globe 110 kilo. Contact Gaborone Control 126.1.
Okay, so 10 miles to the Zonavada VOR. So our next waypoint after that, we go to Witbank, which is 113.3.
Link 173 Lima, Johannesburg Control West. Expect a VAG 1 Delta, runway 21 left. Expect a VAG 1 Delta, runway 21 left. Link 173 Lima.
Okay, and it'll be a course of
Control West, Safari Sierra Juliet
123.
Good day. Flight level 133.
Safari Sierra Juliet Oscar, Johannesburg Control West. Identified. Climb to flight level 310.
Climb to flight level 310. Safari Sierra Juliet Oscar.
Oh, this is awesome. Very different type of IFR flying to what we're used to doing on the channel. Okay, we're at 7,000 feet. We're at about 142 knots. Looking good. Oh, one thing I didn't do was this, which ATC did not mention. So that's interesting. Maybe they can't, Beyond ATC can't tell if it's actually on. I know it does check the squawk code now. So once you take off, if your squawk is wrong, they will tell you. But obviously not that. Okay, so it's 36 miles from Zonavata to Witbank, and then the long stretch from Witbank to Kruger is 107 miles. And what I can actually do is even just dial this in. So let's dial Witbank in 113.3 over here. Put Kruger in, which is next. Kruger's is 112.5. Like so. So it seems like this one, we don't have the option to see the distance, which kind of sucks. 4 miles to go. So we want to be 123 to Witbank. So let's go into heading mode and then dial this. So 123 is about there. Flip this over. Cool. Now, Witbank, as you can see, does not have DME, it's just the VOR.
Link 173 Lima, a VAG 1 Delta, runway 21 left. Report ready for descent. A VAG 1 Delta, runway 21 left, ready for descent. Link 173 Lima. Link 173 Lima, descend to 10,000 feet, QNH 1017. Descend to 10,000 feet, link 173 Lima.
Okay, so we'll slowly catch up to this. Should be pretty much over that VOR now. It's a very random VOR because there's no airport here. that's interesting because this says we're almost bang on. There's both slightly off, so I think we're okay. Okay, so we should start a gentle turn to the right now to get onto that radial. There we go. So our cruise is 7,000 feet, which actually generated with Simbrief, which is interesting because smack in the middle of our route we have a block with an MSA of 10,000 and probably less than a mile to our left there's a peak at 6,800 feet. So that is kind of interesting. I would have expected Simbrief. I don't even know if it looks at that kind of stuff though. But I'm gonna keep an eye on that. It's over halfway to the Kruger VR, so it's when we start crossing the mountain range there. If we feel like it's an issue, we will just request a higher altitude. But I thought that 7,000 was quite low actually. I was expecting more like 11. Just trying to see if it gives us any sort of climb. It doesn't. Yeah, so all points have a flight level of 7,000. I mean, still at this rate, we would have struggled VFR, so I mean, we're in a bit of rain right now. Actually, saw it on the window there. Okay, cabin temperature bang on 23. That's fantastic. There we go. A little bit of rain on the windshield. Right, but otherwise we're looking good. And cruising along at 7,000. I think I'm more like 124 than 123.
Johannesburg Control West, Sun Express 313, flight level 287. Sun Express 313, Johannesburg Control West. Good day. Radar contact. Continue climb to flight level 340.
Right, but we're cruising along nicely, exactly at 7,000, about 140, just under 150 knots. No, 145-ish. Okay, feels still all good. Okay, we don't need to use the ADF today. wants a bit more down trim. So we're either picking up a bit of speed as we burn our fuel, maybe the winds are changing. It's also storming outside in real life, so if you hear thunder, that's where it's coming from.
Link 173 Lima. Contact Johannesburg approach 124.5.
What does this say here?
Contact Johannesburg approach 124.5. Link 173 Lima.
Johannesburg Control West, Safair 412, flight level 139er.
Safair 412, Johannesburg Control West. Radar contact. Climb to flight level 350.
Climb to flight level 350, Safair 412.
Does it mean to pull this? Must be. I don't think we can.
Link 271 Lima, flight level 399er.
Oh well.
Link 271 Lima, Johannesburg
Right, there
Control
comes
West.
the weather again.
Identified.
It's not too bumpy, at least. I don't mind being in the rain or the clouds. I just don't want us to be thrown all over the place. So for now, we're okay. Okay. Active sky, obviously. Got a new meta, and there's no clouds here now. Yeah, let's have a look at the weather for Kruger and Mpumalanga. 18 degrees. Hardly any wind, 2 knots. And it says it's cloudy. Scattered clouds at 2,000 feet. Which is about what we're seeing now, because Kruger Airport is at like 3,000 feet already. Yeah, so 2,000 above that's like 5,000. We're at 7, so okay. These clouds are higher than that, so looks like we might be heading into another bit of clouds over the mountains that are lower down. Right, it's now a beautiful day. All of this could have been VFR easily. So now the next challenge is we don't have a DME for VidBank, so we're gonna have to just keep an eye on this. So when that starts freaking out, we just go into heading mode. And what I'm actually going to do is dial this in to see when we actually pick up Kruger. Because of the mountains in between, I don't think we're going to pick it up at the VidBank VOR. So if we don't, we need to head 96 degrees, which is there, until we can actually pick it up. So let's dial this in to 96. What we could also do is just do the reciprocal of 96 from VidBank. That's actually an option as well. So I think we should prepare for that, because I don't think we're going to pick this one up in time. these two are still pretty well matched. This little menu thing is very annoying. Right, 24 degrees inside. Back it off a little bit.
Link 271 Lima, Johannesburg Control West. Expect with Tree Charlie, runway 21 left.
Expect with Tree Charlie, runway 21 left, link 271 Lima. Johannesburg Control West, link 920 Kilo, descending via 91 Delta, flight level 258.
Link 920 Kilo, Johannesburg Control West, identified.
Okay, so what I should have actually done is just worked out how long we were going to take to fly between Zonnewater and Witbank. I feel like we're getting pretty
Johannesburg
close.
Control West, Safir 473. Good day.
However,
Flight level 380.
Witbank should be pretty obvious because of the big power station, which I can actually see
473,
over there.
Johannesburg Control West, radar contact.
Now, the VOR is this side of the dam, which is where we're going. So it's probably over there. So we're getting pretty close. So let's go into heading mode. And let's dial this in. So we'll do what? The reciprocal of 96, so that's 276. Being dumb though, that's not gonna work. We need to stay on 96. It's just 96 outbound. I can't fly backwards. So that's 90, so 96 is about there. The weather's clearing up a lot, so we might actually be fine to make it into Mala Mala VFR.
Link 271 Lima, reduce speed to 250 knots.
Reduce speed to 250 knots, link 271 Lima.
Okay, so now we basically just stay on
Link
this heading until
271
we
Lima,
intercept this.
descend to flight level 200.
Okay, that means we're pretty much directly over the
Flight
VOR.
level 200, link 271 Lima.
Right, so now
Link 920
we're actually gonna have to do
Contact
this.
Johannesburg, approach 124.5.
Contact Johannesburg approach 124.5, link 920 Kilo.
It's a very slow intercept. Probably should have done that myself. This is Vidbank over there. And those low clouds are still around, so it's always the possibility of rain, especially as we get closer to the mountains. That becomes a very real thing.
Surveyor 473, Johannesburg Control West. Expect radar vectors. RNAV runway 25.
Expect radar vectors. RNAV runway 25. Surveyor 473.
Alright, so now we keep an eye on this to see when we actually start picking up Kruger's VOR. Right, fuel is looking good. Fuel pressure, oil pressure, all temps. Everything's in the green.
Flight level tree 20.
Globe 202 Victor, Johannesburg Control West. Radar contact. Globe 202 Victor, Johannesburg Control West. Expect Standerton 1 Delta, runway 21 left.
Expect Standerton 1 Delta, runway 21 left, Globe 202 Victor.
Now there's just been an update to Beyond ATC, and I think part of the update they've changed that it actually says the name of the procedure or the VOR, because like there she said Standerton. For us she said Zonnewater rather than saying like CZV or STD.
Continue climb to flight level 400. Link 882 X-ray.
Why did I say STD? Standerton is STV. Okay, we're on that radial, sort of. Okay, we can do a bit of alignment here. So we should be exactly on that. There.
Johannesburg Control West, Springbok 534. Good day. Flight level tree 40.
I feel like that's fine.
Springbok 534, Johannesburg Control West. Radar contact. Springbok 534, Johannesburg Control West. Expect Standerton 1 Delta, runway 21 left.
Oh, that's why I said STD. It's Standerton 1 Delta.
Standerton 1 Delta, runway 21 left, Springbok 534.
Oh wow, they're landing on the 2-1 runways. That's
Globe
interesting.
202 Victor, reduce speed to 250 knots.
Reduce speed to 250 knots, Globe 202 Victor.
So our
Globe 202
7,000
Victor,
foot
descend to flight
cruising
level
altitude is keeping us
150.
just below these clouds. If it starts getting into the rain
Descend
and
to flight level 150.
getting really bumpy or anything like that, we'll just go up. We'll go up to... we can start at 9.
Surveyor 473, you were assigned flight level tree 80. I show you at flight level tree 68. Climb to flight level tree 80.
That's interesting. I don't know why that happens, actually.
Roger. Climb to flight level tree 80. Surveyor 473. Johannesburg Control West. Surveyor 101. Flight level tree 05.
Okay, otherwise everything's in the
Surveyor
green.
101,
Cruising along nicely.
Johannesburg Control West. Identified.
Weather's updating
Continue climb
again.
to flight level tree 40.
Fuel, temperatures and
Continue climb to
pressures,
flight level tree 40.
altitude,
Surveyor 101.
all good. Right, we're still not yet picking up the Kruger VOR.
Springbok 534, reduce speed to 250 knots.
Reduce speed to 250 knots, Springbok 534.
Springbok 534, descend to flight level 150.
This is the town of Middleburg, and Middleburg Airport is just on this side of the town. I wonder if we can see it. Is that it? That's it there. There we go. You can see the other runway.
Link 702 Bravo, Johannesburg Control West, identified.
Johannesburg Control West, Ethiopian 848, flight level 138.
Ethiopian 848, Johannesburg Control West, good day, identified. Continue climb to flight level 350.
Continue climb to flight level 350, Ethiopian 848.
Link 882 X-ray, Johannesburg Control West.
Wow, Johannesburg airspace getting busy in the morning.
Left.
What's the time now, actually?
Expect standard 1 Delta, runway 21 left, link 882 X-ray.
So what's that?
Link
Is this the
702
time?
Bravo. Contact Johannesburg approach 124.5.
Contact Johannesburg approach 124.5.
So just after 8:30.
702 Bravo.
So our morning rush hour kind of kicking off, I suppose. If we keep our eyes open, some of these farms we should actually see cows on them. I think there's sheep as well in 2024. Once we get closer to the Kruger Park, we can keep an eye out for animals as well. At least our 7,000 foot cruise allows us to kind of check out the scenery, which is kind of cool. Johannesburg airspace calming down a little bit now. Okay, Kruger ATIS or META just updated. So now reporting yeah, still scattered at 2,000, so pretty much the same. Okay, otherwise everything's still looking good, and we're still not picking up Kruger's VOR. That one does have DME, so at least once we pick that up, we can flip over here and get the exact distance. 1125, so we can actually set that here so long.
X-ray. Standerton 1 Delta, runway 21 left. Report ready for descent.
Standerton 1 Delta, runway 21 left, ready for descent, link 882 X-ray.
Link 882 X-ray, descend to flight level 150.
Descend to flight level 150.
Alright, clouds are starting to build up again above us. Farmland, aren't you? Okay, temperature 23. Bang on. So we still got just under 2.5 hours of fuel on board. We're still not picking up Kruger yet, but the ground is starting to rise. I think Johannesburg is busy. Oh, are those cows down there? Those are something.
Safar 473, flight present heading, descend to flight level 220, Lanseria Airport, landing runway 25.
Oh, going to Lanseria with an R now. Interesting. I think those are sheep. No, they're too big. Cows? Definitely animals of some sort. So, oh right, because they're landing from the opposite direction. That's why they're doing the RNAV. Maybe 25 doesn't have an ILS. But I was just thinking maybe some of those aircraft, because it was crazy busy earlier, maybe some of them are too far away. And that's why we're not picking them up, but we're hearing 473 at Lanseria. So, yeah, maybe not. Okay, looking along our route, there's a dam and a town here, so what's next? So this must be Emakazeni. There's actually a little airstrip there, just the other side of the dam.
473, turn right, heading 335, descend to flight level 210, vectors for the approach.
Turn right, heading 335, descend to flight level 210, Safar 473.
Link 271 Lima, descend to flight level 160.
the next town we passed,
Link 271 Lima.
we've got
Contact Johannesburg approach 124.5.
and Waterfall-Boven on the right-hand side.
Approach 124.5, link 271 Lima.
And then we get to Gondwana, which we probably won't see. There's a little airport there for SAPI, which is a forestry company that makes paper. So there's a lot of plantations out here for forestry. Mostly, I think it's pine mostly. And so SAPI has a big, like sawmill, I think it is, or some sort of paper processing plant, whatever it's called. So we're passing that, but I don't know if we'll see it. We'll be a bit far. And then after that we get Nelspruit, which is now Mbombela, with the Mbombela Stadium as well, which we might be able to see. And then just after that is the Kruger Airport. But I think we're gonna climb just before we get to Nelspruit. Actually, we might even climb sooner than that, because I don't know what road this is. It doesn't tell me, but we cross over a major highway, and after that the terrain is the highest that we're gonna get throughout our entire flight. That's where we go right past a peak on our left-hand side at 6,800 feet. Right, here's the dam. Can we see a little airstrip here? Is it that? It's literally just like a grass patch. It's not even... I don't think it's even recognized by flight sim, but it's on the map. It should be just other side the dam, so basically exactly where we are now. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, it's got two runways. There's one, there's the other. Cool.
Safar 4732 and H101 for expect radar vectors for RNAV runway 25.
Another one. Oh, that's the same. 473.
Expect radar vectors for RNAV runway 25. Safar 473.
Right, fuel's still looking good. We got just over 2 hours endurance.
Globe 202 Victor. Contact
Everything's
Johannesburg
green.
approach 124.5. Contact Johannesburg approach 124.5. Globe 202 Victor.
Right, train tracks and road. That's not the highway. This is a smaller road. The next big highway on the map here, I think by then we need to have already climbed. You can see the terrain in front of us is not gonna work. So let's ask for 9,000 feet. Jasper, Control Zulu Sierra Delta Romeo Bravo, request altitude change 9,000.
Zulu Sierra Delta Romeo Bravo. I didn't get that altitude. Say again altitude.
Oh, it's actually a flight. Well, I'm not sure. 9,000 feet for Delta Romeo Bravo.
Zulu Sierra Delta Romeo Bravo.
Okay, so then it's flight level.
Say again altitude.
Yeah, okay, she doesn't get it. Flight level 090 for Delta Romeo Bravo. So the transition here might be 8,000
Zulu
feet.
Sierra Delta Romeo Bravo. Enable your flight is to the east and flight level 904
Oh,
is
wow.
an even numbered flight level. Please pick an odd altitude.
And ask for 904. Flight level 090 for Delta Romeo Bravo.
Zulu Sierra Delta Romeo Bravo.
Oh my word.
Enable your flight is to the east and flight level 904 is an even numbered flight level.
Delta Romeo Bravo, flight level 090.
Zulu Sierra Delta Romeo Bravo.
Yeah, so I think it was the Delta Romeo Bravo that was confusing.
Level 090.
Affirmative, Delta Romeo Bravo. So that's why I just swapped the order around.
Zulu Sierra Delta Romeo Bravo. Roger. Climb to flight level 090.
Climb to flight level 090, Delta Romeo Bravo.
Springbok 534. Contact Johannesburg.
Okay, I'm just gonna leave the power as is, and we'll just do a very gentle climb. Hey, we just... Ooh, we picked up Kruger briefly. We've now lost... we've now lost Vidbank, but we're just picking up Kruger, and we're just picking up Vidbank, and they're switching. Cool. So, let's just go to heading mode for a bit, and flip this over. Okay, so we're actually quite a way off of our 093. In a little bit of power. Okay, 500 feet a minute is fine, although we're dropping off slightly. This might just put us in the clouds, which means we won't be able to look at scenery anymore. Okay, coming up to 8,000. And she hasn't given us a new Q&H, so, and it's been quite a while, so we still have the same ATIS. It's definitely been over an hour. Firmly in the clouds now. Damn. As long as it's not bumpy.
Safair 473. Descend to flight level 080.
Descend to flight level 080. Safair 473.
Link 882 X-ray.
Okay, so we're more than halfway to Kruger because we're showing 46 miles. It was 107 miles total, so we're over halfway.
Link 882 X-ray.
Which means we don't have super long left to go. It's only 40 miles from Kruger to Malamala. Now, being in the clouds does kind of worry me because we're in that MSA of 10,000 feet in this section. And Kruger is actually in that block. Kruger's just outside the block. So hopefully we're going to be okay. I can just barely see. But we're still climbing another 800 feet. and see again for a bit. Are we going to make it over the terrain here? Yeah, I think we're fine. Is really cool. Like, the control is clear, but those planes, as they're getting further away, are getting worse. Right, there comes our 9,000 feet. So we'll bring our power back a bit again. Genius. I'm supposed to be at 93, not 96. So if that's 90, so 93 is about there. That's why we're slightly off. It's going to be interesting to see what Beyond ATC does. Is that a little airstrip? I think it is. This will all be forestry plantations, you can see. We're about to go into the clouds again. It'll be interesting to see what Beyond ATC does, because after Kruger, we have no way of finding Malalan except visually, so we're expecting them to give us vectors that gets us to the point where we can actually see the airport. Right, temperature's good. Engine, everything's in the green. Fuel's still good. We've got about just under 2 hours. Okay, we should be getting back on course now shortly. 33.5 miles to Kruger. what's very interesting is I've actually just realized something. I've always wondered why all the private reserves have airports on this eastern side, and it's because we're actually at Malamala right on the edge of the restricted airspace to Kruger, which is restricted all the way up to 10,500 feet because it's a national park. So that makes sense, because all of these little ones, even Skakusa isn't inside that, it seems. Sabi Sabi, Ulusaba, all of those little places are just outside that restricted airspace. Which is interesting because we're actually going to cut over a small part of the park. So we're looking at about 55 degrees from Kruger, from Kruger's VOR, to put us on a course for Malamala. So that's what I'm going to set if ATC doesn't give us any vectors yet. And that takes us straight over Pretoria's Corp Rest Camp, which is obviously inside the park. Okay, 27 miles to go. So I'm actually going to dial that heading in. Okay, so 55 is like there. And we'll use... No, I'm going to do this the other way. So once we get to about 4 or 5 miles, we'll go into heading, dial our course, and we'll once again do the outbound thing. This valley on this side, actually, that is... That's the Illens River, which means that's the highway that you come along, or one of the options that you can from Joburg or Pretoria to Kruger, which means Ngodwana is down there. There it is. There's the processing plant. You can see it, which means just over here somewhere, there's the terminal, or hangar, there's that little private airstrip, and there's the processing plant there. Cool. So we actually did manage to see it. I thought it would be too far. So the other route that you can take goes through the mountains on this side, and I think this actually might be it here, and this is where you join on. So if you take the Ngodwana route, you come through here and continue to Kruger. If you take the other one, you come, yeah, there it is, you come through the hills there and you join on and continue here past Mbombela. Some more clouds pulling up there in front of us. Okay, just gone 9 o'clock. We're at 9,000 feet. Everything else is in the green. Feels good. 21 miles to go. So that means coming up next is the town of Mbombela, and we might be able to see the stadium. It'll be on our right hand side. Like I said, you can see lots of forestry in this area. Nelspruit Airport is just in there somewhere. It's actually like on a little hill. think it might just be behind the clouds. It could be like there, or it's just in here somewhere. This highway coming in here, the one that you take to Kruger, is the N4. Might be the airport there, because that is the right shape. Yeah, that's it. There's the runway, there's the kind of hangars and stuff are in this almost triangle shape at the top, and then run all the way down right next to the runway. So this is Mbombela. Oh, there's the stadium there. It's not a 3D thing. It is kind of nice not having to worry about weaving through all the clouds VFR. But yeah, it does make that departure a very high workload. Right, 12.5 miles to go. So the N4 has this like weird split where one goes down that way and you end up joining over there again, and the other one comes this side and you kind of end up, there's the road there going the same way, obviously with loads of connections in between. But
Zulu Sierra Delta Romeo Bravo, turn left, heading 060, vectors from Alamala Airport.
left to 060, Zulu Sierra Delta Romeo Bravo. Right, we're getting vectors already. Wow, we haven't even made it to Kruger yet. That is a long way out. That's probably... So we're 10 miles from Kruger, so it's 50 miles. Because it's about 40 from Kruger to Malamala. Right, so we're bang on 60 there, bang on 60 there. That's good. Everything's in the green. Feels still good. Engine's running good. 9,000 feet. Still haven't got a QNH update. In reality, I would have said getting vectors now makes sense because we don't then interfere with Kruger airspace at all. They're basically taking us right along the edge of the airspace, 10 miles out from the airport, which is perfect because then we don't interfere with any operations there, because they do have scheduled commercial flights in and out of Kruger. SAF Air flies there. I think Airlink also flies there. So I don't know if that's actually what Beyond ATC is doing, but it does make sense. Right, then that should actually put us pretty close to White River, which I think is this here. Is that the sawmill? That there? No, the sawmill's further out. Unless it's there. I think it's there somewhere. No, it actually could have been that because it's this side of the water. Okay, yeah, but this is White River, definitely. Because, is there like golf stuff here? Yeah, so this is the country club. Or it's like a golf estate kind of thing. Right, so 1 hour 44 minutes of fuel on board. Okay, then next up in front of us is the town of Jerusalem. And then based on, because if this is Jerusalem and we're heading towards Malamala, again I'm just looking at the map, we're going to go quite close to Numbi entrance gate, which is one of the entrance gates to Kruger Park, and the H11, which is the main road from Numbi all the way to Skukuza. And obviously if you're heading from Pretorius Corp Camp, which is just in from Numbi, that's the road you would take all the way to Skukuza. So that river that we can see over there is the border of the Kruger Park. So everything on that side is inside Kruger. I don't know what river this is, but it joins, the Crocodile River runs along the bottom of Kruger, and this one comes in and joins with it. So I don't think it's the Crocodile at this point, because Crocodile comes through Nelspruit. Right, so this must be Jerusalem then. Looks like we're heading into a bunch of cloud. Right, it'll be right over the gate, so we won't be able to see the entrance or Pretorius Corp Rest Camp. So it means we'll cross over the H11, we'll cross over the S1, which is that kind of top route, and the S3, which is the little dirt track along the Sabi River. We'll cross over the Sabi River, over Sabi Reserve, and then into Malamala, which is along the Sand River. Right, but we're going to be in the clouds now, so we're not going to see a lot of what I've just said, because we should be coming up to the border of Kruger now. Okay, it's going to be difficult to see now. So I think once we cross over Sabi, we need to, well, over the Sabi River, we need to start our descent. But now, if we can't see it, that's going to make it difficult. Because Malamala is at about 1,100 feet, I think. It's just over 1,000 feet elevation. So we need, if we descend at 1,000 feet per minute, we need about 8 minutes to descend. Also, even if we descend early, it's not the end of the world, because getting underneath this and being able to see makes life a lot easier as well. Okay, by now we probably crossed that pretty much straight over Numbi Gates, I'd say. And we can't see anything. We should probably check. So outside temperature, we're about 19 degrees, so icing not an issue. Temperature inside 22, all good. This does not look good for getting into Malamala. Gap there. See a little river. Aha. So that's the Sabi River. so we should see a road. There we go. So this will be S1, and that along the river is S3. So I think we should descend through this so we can kind of start seeing where we are, even though we're probably still a good 20-ish miles from Mala Mala. The more we can see, the better, because we have to end up VFR anyway. Jasper Control, Zulu Sierra, Delta Romeo Bravo, ready for descent.
Delta Romeo Bravo, fly present heading, descend to 3,000 feet, QNH, Malamala Airport, landing runway 34.
Descend to 3,000 feet, QNH 1012, and landing runway 34 at Malamala, Delta Romeo Bravo. Okay, so I just read the local QNH because she didn't actually say anything. I think it can't actually
Sierra,
pick up.
Delta Romeo Bravo Q and H expect radar vectors for.
QNH 1012 expect radar vectors for runway 34. Zulu Sierra Delta Romeo Bravo.
Zulu Sierra Delta Romeo Bravo. No tower services available at Malamala. Frequency change approved. Bye-bye.
Oh, wow. Frequency change approved. Good day, Delta Romeo Bravo. That's not supposed to happen. Because now we are still 100% IMC here. Okay, not 100%. I can actually see a little bit out to the left. But they should at least get you visual with the airport as far as I know. Okay, so we can descend to 3,000 feet and then it's kind of up to us. Right, so I'm gonna have to, I mean, I assume the vector they put us on is getting us quite close to the airport. It feels right. We're crossing the right kind of waypoints, but I need to be able to see more so that I can find on the map exactly where we are. So let's do that QNH 1012. Okay, let's keep an eye on that cylinder temperature. It's still in the green, so we're fine. Okay, and she gave us runway 34 for Malamala. So let's switch this over, and then we can use this to indicate our runway direction. Okay, so one thing we can do is head, if I make a right-hand turn and we head east, we pick up the Sand River and we just follow that to not Malalan, that's behind us, to Malamala. because the airport is right along the Sand River, and in fact that's probably the Sand River right in front of us. Okay, because that's going to be pretty easy. I just need to get, once I'm under the clouds here, things will be pretty chilled. Okay, so that means the airport is up here somewhere. Or up here somewhere. So we have this little bend, bigger bend, big bend. So the airport's about there. It's there. And in fact, I think I can actually see it. This is a different airstrip. There's two next to each other. It's not this one. I don't actually know what that is. So it's right on that bend there. So we're actually a bit high. So let's start getting ready for that. So I'm gonna take the prop all the way forward. We'll do the responsible thing and do a bit of a flyover first. That's just me pulling the throttle back to the point where it's not happy because I don't have the gear down. That is Skukuza Airport over there. So definitely keep an eye out for animals here. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is a right-hand orbit. Because we need to start slowing down a bit as well. At least we are visual now, so no issues there. Okay, and then we'll do a pretty low flyby of the airport just to have a look, make sure there's no animals on the runway, make sure everything looks good, everything's clear, and then we'll come into land. We'll do a circuit basically and come into land on 3-4. So why do I feel like my course needle doesn't line up with the runway at all. Oh, because I did 34 degrees, it's runway 34. It's 340 degrees. Genius. Okay, autopilot coming off. Whoa, that's very sensitive. Wow, why does it feel so sensitive? It's crazy. Okay, are there any animals on the runway? Not that I can see. The runway is actually paved. I mean, Mala Mala is a pretty upmarket private reserve, so it does kind of make sense. There are some animals at the end there. Look like zebra. So we might actually have to do a pass. Yeah, there's a whole bunch just near the apron. We might actually have to do a pass to see if we can try and scare them away. There they are. There's like 3 of them that are pretty close to the runway. Okay, let's just see if there's anything else. Nothing this side that I can see. Let's just extend this turn a little bit. I'm going to go flaps 1. Those are all rocks down there in the river, not animals. So if we just come down the runway, we should hopefully be able to kind of chase them off to the left. There's more things out there. Oh, those are buffalo. And then here the zebra are. There we go, they're moving. Welcome to Africa. let's keep this fairly wide so we don't chase them back again. Oh, there's something down there as well. More zebra. It looks like they've kind of gone back. They're still off to the side though, so we should be okay. They're also right at the end, so if we just make sure we touch down at the end of the runway, we should be fine. Okay, let's go flaps 2 and we'll get the gear down. Right, we have a green light. The wind is definitely coming from our right hand side. It's blowing me closer to the runway each time. Flaps full, because we want to stop nice and short here because of the animals at the end. Okay, mixture full. And then we can just coast all the way down to the end. So I'm gonna pull the mixture out a bit. We can actually get the flaps up already. Alright, and there's our first game viewing where we just arrived. So there's buffalo just in the trees there, and there's a couple of zebra on the side here. How cool is that? This is one of the features that I'm most excited for in Flight Sim 2020 is the animals. Ooh, that's interesting. I just pulled the mixture too far. Right, we definitely don't need the heater on because it is apparently 34 degrees. That's so cool that they actually just like slowly move off like that as you approach, and if you get closer they start running. Very, very cool. Temperature back down to 23. Very nice. Okay, again, I'm not too stressed about that because in reality you would feel, oh wow, it's getting hot in here. Quickly adjust the cabin temperature. In the sim, the only way I have of knowing is to actually look at the tablet. So strobe lights coming off. flaps are already up. Zebra are still hanging around there. The Buffalo are the ones I'm worried about. We do not want to cause issues with them. Where are they? Ah, they're moving around in the trees there. I can see them. Okay, Zebra are running off now. Glitching out, it seems. Alright, and we have a marshaller who is facing the opposite direction, so we'll go around. Just in there moving around. They're also glitching out. Set the parking brake. Okay, these are all done. These can go off. This. Wow, I definitely should have kept that on while I was doing circuits. That's kind of bad. Okay, avionics off. Mags, and then master switch. And come up here and just set this back to neutral. Alright, and there we are, safely arrived in, at Malamala Airport there. The Zebra are just hanging around up there. That sound is the Buffalo. Yeah, they're glitching out properly. There's more in the trees over there. Just in case you were wondering, in real life, do not do this. Don't walk up to Buffalo. That is a sure way to get yourself killed. Something small that ran off to the left there. So, we know there's zebra, we know there's buffalo, we know there's giraffe, we know there's elephant. But there's also supposedly warthog, hyena. What other small things are there that are going to be difficult to spot from the air? See, now, if this was real and that thing was walking towards me like that, I would be terrified. There they are. How cool is that? But anyway, that is going to bring us to the end of this video. Very, very cool flight, actually. I really enjoyed that. The Comanche, as always, from A2A is just phenomenal. And so, yeah, I enjoyed doing a bit of RFR in the beginning. The workload's pretty high, especially without the GPS as well. But we made it successfully into Malalan. Not Malalan, Malamala. What is going on? We made it in successfully VFR at the end. So very, very cool. But that is going to bring us to the end of this video. As always, if you made it right to this point, I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, you know what to do down below, and I'll see you in the next one.